Hello and welcome to the news brief for Friday, February 16th, 2024. GSN, thanks so much for tuning in. We are now in the season of Lent and we are going full throttle. So all kinds of things are happening here in our parish. So it's kind of our big time right now. It's our on season as Catholics. All kinds of things are happening. Let's talk about what's going on. So what's happening here in our parish this week? Well, it is Friday now in Lent, and friendly reminder, I say it all the time, but we are really obliged as Catholics to do some sort of penance every Friday of the year, unless it's a big celebration like the presentation of the Lord or Christmas or whatever. But during Lent, of course, we are required to abstain from eating meat. And so one of the great customs that we have as Catholics is that we often have fish fries for us to come together as a community to eat fish together. So that our first one is this Friday today, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock is the fish fry. We are also starting up the Stations of the Cross. So Stations of the Cross start up this Friday as well. So that is at 5:30 and at 7 o'clock. So 5:30 in English and 7 o'clock in Spanish. Also on Friday, very soon, we will be beginning the Eucharistic Adoration, which we are doing from 12 to 6. We're going to try that. Although I just heard that there might be some fish fry traffic that comes in through that door. So we might have to consider that as well. But we might close down earlier. So anyway, if you come this afternoon, the idea was kind of to do some adoration during the time that we regularly acknowledge that Jesus was hanging on the cross. So from 12 to 3 is kind of a special time, especially on Fridays. And so in Lent, we thought that would be a good time to have another time for adoration. Again, my goal is to have adoration every day of the week, not just on Thursdays, but we just aren't there yet. I don't think that it's not my goal to have perpetual adoration like all night long. That's really hard to staff and maintain. So that is an unreasonable goal, but I would like to have daily opportunities for adoration. So, but right now we have noon to 6 or possibly noon to 5 on Fridays. We also have the opportunity for reconciliation. Reconciliation, we have added one extra time. Normally our times are 5 to 6 on Thursdays and 3:30 to 4:30 on Saturdays. We are also adding, as are all the parishes in the diocese, 6 to 7 on Wednesdays of Lent. That begins this week. So lots of opportunities. Make sure you get to confession sometime during this Lent. It's a great practice. We are having Lenten evenings of reflection on the Mondays of Lent. Our first one is this Monday, February 19th, talking about prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. This is a call to conversion. So it should be a wonderful reflection. So please come and be edified by this presentation on February 19th. So 3 Mondays in Lent. Here's more information about that. Our food truck will be here to support Catholic Charities, so please support Catholic Charities again. We always have a very generous parish and a wonderful opportunity as we are called to give alms and to help out other people during this time of Lent. A couple things that we're going to be doing during Lent, just to mark the season a little bit differently. We have the custom of not ringing the bells during the consecration during Lent. We used to not have the bells at all, but I thought it would be a good time for us just to abstain and have more quiet and silence during that time at the consecration. So there won't be any bells being rung during Lent. Also, in the spirit of having quiet, we're going to try something. Just we thought would be good. So we'll exit from Mass in silence instead of a closing hymn. You know, there's not really, the liturgy doesn't really call for a closing hymn. Most parishes have a closing hymn, and I generally like having a closing hymn. But we're just thought we'd try something during Lent, as we are all called to a deeper sense of quiet and prayer during this time of Lent. We're gonna try it, and then to kind of close off the Mass, we're gonna pray the Anima Christi prayer, a prayer by St. Ignatius Loyola, a lovely prayer, which I don't know the words all that well myself, and so it's a good opportunity for me to learn the prayer better. And we were talking about doing the St. Michael the Archangel prayer that a lot of parishes are doing. We just thought that at this time for our parish, and especially in the year of Eucharistic amazement, this would be a better prayer, the Anima Christi prayer to pray on the Sundays during Lent. So we will exit without music, and we'll have that prayer at the end of Mass, the Anima Christi. It should be up on the screen at the end of Mass, and then we'll exit in quiet. We're also going to fast, if you will, from applause. And we have I will admit it's kind of a strange tradition that we have at Good Shepherd to close the Mass with applause. I think it is to recognize and to thank the musicians. I think that's how it's all started off, but we're going to fast from that. I've also heard from the musicians that they don't really care for that anyway, because they are giving ministry to give thanks to God, to give glory to God anyway. And I've often said that the best compliment that you can get at the end of Mass or the end of a beautiful song is reverent silence. And people have been really moved, and not moved to applaud, but they are really moved interiorly into a new, deeper space. And that the best often compliment that you can give to a beautiful song is reverent silence. And so similarly, we're just going to try to do that during Lent. Maybe we'll continue that during Easter, but we'll see. But it should be pretty natural because we're going to be exiting in silence and with a prayer. So it should happen naturally. So those are those things for the time of Lent. We're also going to chant the Our Father to kind of elevate that. Obviously, we won't be doing the Gloria. So those kind of changes, just a little bit change of pace, because it's good to have those little changes in the seasons. So that's that. And then let's see here. My schedule for this weekend is I have the 10 o'clock Mass and the 4 o'clock Mass this weekend. Next weekend, I'm taking a brief couple days of getaway on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I will plan to have a GSN out next week, but if I do so, it'll be early because I will be out of town on Friday. So watch for that early, and if it's not there by Thursday, I ran out of time. So anyway, I hope that you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.